A visitor is about to leave your store empty-handed. But what if in that moment you could capture their email and give them a reason to buy automatically? In this video, I'll show you how to use OmniSend to create a pop-up form on your WordPress website that generates a unique discount code for every subscriber, turning abandoning visitors into customers. Let's get started. The first thing we have to do is install the OmniSend for WooCommerce plugin and then integrate that with the OmniSend store I have set up. So we're in our demo website here, WordPress website. So we're going to do a search for OmniSend here to add a plugin. And we'll hit enter. And here is the plugin we need, Email Marketing for WooCommerce by OmniSend. Click Install and then click Activate. It knows that we have WooCommerce installed and it's saying, hey, connect OmniSend to WooCommerce. Well, that's exactly what we want. So I'm going to click on Connect Your Store to OmniSend. It takes me to the OmniSend for WooCommerce plugin dashboard where I can click on Connect My Account. It's going to ask for permissions, manage coupons, which is very important, and manage orders and sales and manage products. I'm going to click on Approve. Then it's going to ask what type of brand do you have for your WooCommerce store. This is part of the OmniSend onboarding. And so I'm just going to make a couple of changes here and we'll come right back to the video when that's done. All right, so I've made a couple of changes here, uploaded my logo. I'm going to click on Save Brand Assets. Well, you do have the option to do this later. Now it's going to ask, start with smart recommendations. OmniSend AI will recommend high impact ways to engage your audience, or you can explore on your own. Since I know what I'd like to do for this video, I'm going to click on Explore on my own. So at this point, we have connected our WooCommerce store to our OmniSend account, and we're all good to go there. I'm just going to go back to WordPress and the OmniSend options here to make sure that we are all set here as well. So it's going to email subscribers. We can add that opt-in to our checkout. So I want to have that. And we also have the option to add in an SMS subscriber as well. And we can assign a particular tag to contacts that are imported to OmniSend when we go to the next step, which is syncing. We have one contact coming in, that would be me. And so it's also syncing the products and it's also syncing the categories. So we're going to go ahead and let that sync in the background. We're going to go back over to OmniSend because our next step is the automation workflow for our pop-up form. Now, before we dive into the automation workflow piece, a quick shout out to OmniSend for sponsoring today's video. One thing I really like about OmniSend is that it's built specifically for e-commerce use cases just like this. You're not duct taping coupons and emails together. It's all natively integrated. You're not just sending generic newsletters. You're triggering messages based on real behavior, like when someone subscribes, abandons a cart, or completes a purchase. Now, let's go build that automation. So we're going to go to the Automations tab here. So we're not going to start with abandoned cart workflow that is suggested, although you should be doing that. We're going to click on Explore Templates. And what we want is the welcome ×3. And that will send out 3 emails over a period of time that will communicate out a discount code. So we want this one right here, high order rate. We'll click on Customize Workflow. Now let's go over the layout here. So on the left-hand side are elements that you add to your workflow. In the center is your workflow. And on the right is things that you edit based on what you're clicking in your workflow. So for instance, we're on the trigger here. We can then edit what our triggers are and our workflow settings. So looking at our triggers here, we have channel subscribed is email. Subscription method is a sign-up form, but we will be changing that to our particular sign-up form, our pop-up form, which is coming up next. For now, though, we will keep that as it is. And then we're going to wait 1 minute, and then we're going to send out our email. So that's here. And in our email, we can change the subject line, and we can change the pre-header, and we can even change the sender's name. So let's change that to Larry Snow. And here is a snapshot of what our email is going to look like. Let's go in and edit this. So we'll scroll down a little bit more here, like here, and click on Edit Content. We'll click on Yes, Save to any changes we've made. Now, we're not using any of this here for the discount code. We're going to be putting in the unique discount code. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these elements here. And I'm going to go over to Add Elements and select the unique discount code block and drag that over to there. Now notice that we just have X's in there. That's because when it is sent, it automatically gets generated for that unique user. So you're not going to see what the code is. We can change the button here, and we can change some other options over here on the right-hand side. In particular, the thing that you want to pay attention to is the reuse unique discount code in this workflow. We want to select that, and we want to click on Continue. That way, each contact will receive the same unique discount code in every message. The discount type is a cart discount. And we're going to make sure our percentage matches what we've got here in text, and that is 10%. That's good there. And we want to apply this to all orders. We can put in an expiration date, so that's already preset at 14 days. Here is where we change the button. So we want to say shop now and save, something like that. And for the button link, we want to add in the shop URL. So at the very end of our URL here, we'll just do /shop, and that's all looking good. So we'll click on Finish Editing here, and that'll take us back to our workflow. So this is the email we just have completed. Then it's going to wait a day, and then it's going to send another email. And so what we want to do here is do the same type of changing of our discount code. We want to put in that unique discount code block. So let's go ahead and quickly edit this one. So we'll click on Edit Content. Delete the blocks that are in here now, then go up to Add Elements and add in our unique discount code. And again, we can change the button if we'd like, but we're just going to click on Finish Editing for right now. So there's our second email, and then our last email was going to be wait 4 days, and then it's going to go and send out our last email. And again, we'll have to make that change to put in that unique discount code. But in the interest of time, I'm just going to skip that for now. And I'll click on Save and Close. We're not going to start the workflow yet because the last part to this is creating our pop-up form. So we'll click on Save and Close. Now let's go over to Forms and create a pop-up form that will be shown on our shop page. So you can start here by preview and launch this form, or you can view other form types. Let's click on View Other Form Types, and we can select this one right here. We can click on Use This Template. On the left-hand side, you can add in elements to your form, such as text or phone number or an input field, those types of things. You can change the layout if you want. The two things I want to bring your attention to is the bottom piece here where it has step 1 and step 2 and success and those types of things. And on the right-hand side, we've got behavior. How and where and when do you want your form to appear? Those type of things. So let's go through the bottom piece first and then the behavior. So down the bottom here, we have step 1, which is the one that we're on. So a person enters their email address to get the coupon. Step 2 is join our VIP club. Well, I don't really have a VIP club, so I don't want that in there. So what I can do is I can click the 3 dots next to step 2 and click on delete, and that will delete that step. But one thing I want to add, and a lot of people don't use this feature, is the teaser. So if we click on Add Option here, we'll see that we have a teaser option. So let's select that. And what's going to happen is that down on your website, on this case on the left-hand side, you'll have this little teaser, hence the name, that says Get 10% off. Now you can go in here and change that by the teaser text. Say, hey, click me and save, something like that. For the display options, I think we'll do Show After Form is Closed. So once the form is closed, like say they don't want to fill out the pop-up form, they just say, hey, get rid of that, I want to shop. It will be seen down here. And you can change the positions. If you go under the Style tab here, you can change out if you wanted to have a circle, if you wanted to have a different border style. And here's your positions. So you could put in the top, the middle, or the left, bottom, right, wherever you want it on your particular page or pages, wherever you want this to display. So we're going to keep it in the bottom left. Now let's go back to our form and make sure we're all set there. So we've got our email address that is required into your email. You do have layout options here as well. Now, where is it going to show? So let's go through some of these behavior items. So under audience management, do you want to add a tag anytime someone fills this out? So it's got 2 tags in there. You could add a third saying, you could just do 10 off, and we'll just click on create new so they can get that. You can enable double opt-in if you want that. You can enable reCAPTCHA to stop any spam options, but that's your audience. Under scheduling, you can say when you want to have it start and when you want it to end. We'll just keep it going no matter what. Under the display, you set when you want this to show for your visitors. So if it's a number of page visits, time on page, scroll depth. In this case, we want to do exit intent because that was our premise at the very beginning of this video. So we'll select that. You can go through the targeting, when to show your form to visitors, if they are email or SMS, or their page targeting appears on a certain URL. So we want to set this to be our shop page. So we'll just do contains. In this case, we're going to do product, and we want to do contains shop. So that's good there. And you can do the visibility, frequency, how often to show it, and even do some A/B testing. For now, though, we're going to click on enable form, click on stay on the free plan, and click on continue. So with our form now created, let's go back to our automations tab here and edit our automation so that it is going to that specific sign up form. So where it says subscription method is sign up, and we're over here on the trigger editing panel here. So we want to select subscription method, and instead of subscription method, we want to do form is, and then we want to do our form, our pop-up form that we just created, and click on save. Then we can click on update. Then we can click on start workflow. With our automation now enabled, as well as our form, let's go over to the website and check out our pop-up form. So we'll open up our shop page in a new private window. And you'll see here, it's not appearing until I move my mouse up into the navigation area, and we'll see the pop-up appear just like that. So we can enter in our email and click on get 10% off. As a thank you, you'll find a 10% discount in your inbox. Fantastic. So if we go over to OmniSend, we go to audience, go to contacts, you'll see my email in here, and that I have a form source, and they applied the tag 10% coupon, as well as the other tags, the welcome discount. And here's our inbox, and here's our email that we just received. Welcome to WooCommerce Store Demo. So we'll click that, open it up. And here is our unique discount code just for us with a shop now and save. And it will take us back to our shop page to go ahead and apply that discount code. And if we go to WooCommerce and go to coupons, you'll see that our same unique discount code was generated here as well, so that it's all connected. Now that you're capturing leads with pop-ups and sending unique coupons, the next question is, what happens after they buy? That's where post-purchase automation comes in. Click here to see how I set that up with OttoKit. And thanks again to OmniSend for supporting the channel. If you want e-commerce marketing that's powerful without being clunky, check the link below, and I'll see you in the next video.